How often do you find yourself scrolling through Instagram feed instead of tackling tasks? And what if I tell you it's not about laziness at all?
Often during procrastination, we end up doing labor-intensive tasks. For example, meticulously cleaning our apartments instead of diving into new work assignments. The root of that behavior lies into our addiction to dopamine, the hormone of motivation and pleasure. Our brain recognizes actions that in the past led to dopamine release and wants to repeat them. This understanding is processed by the amygdala, a part of the brain in charge of emotions. If one task promises a higher level of this hormone than another, our brain leans toward the activity that guarantees pleasure with less effort. In my second years of university, I faced a challenging advanced mathematics exam. Despite not being particularly adept in math, strict professor and the fear to lose my scholarship made me study tirelessly. I passed, experiencing a dopamine-fueled euphoria, which not only lasted for about a week, but also helped me to prepare for subsequent exams without any effort. But what if this all is about the success? During my another session, C++ exam presented itself. Unprepared and anticipated failure, I somehow drew the lucky ticket with very unconventional requirement to paint the professor portrait in Microsoft Paint. While I passed with flying colors, the joy was moderate and didn't affect anyhow the future motivation. This dichotomy taught me the importance of the effort invested in task, not just the success achieved. It's the struggle that triggers a substantial release of dopamine. We better remember things which are partially done, because they remain in our brain to-do list. When a task is completed, the window closes. At the beginning of working on a specific task, tension arises. This tension helps us better remember the unfinished action, and we strive to continue working on to relieve that tension. In experiments conducted by psychology professor Kenneth McGraw, participants were given complex puzzles with unlimited time to solve. Before the puzzles were completed, they were informed that the experiment was already concluded, and they could go home if they wished. What do you think they did? 90% of participants continue working on a puzzle, aiming to finish the tasks that they started. What do we learn from that? Just start. Use the Pomodoro technique. Set a timer for 25 minutes and without distractions, complete a small portion of the work. All studies shows that most likely you will continue even working beyond this time. Another vital aspect is why must that be done? So you need to show your amygdala the connections between work and reward. For example, set a goal. I need to write 2 pages today, so in 1 year I will have a whole book ready and published. This book could help many people overcome procrastination and provide me a financial freedom from the paycheck. What happens if I don't do that? A year from now, I will be stuck at the same place, regretting. Reducing a cortisol level, the hormone of stress, can be aimed by a planner, where everything is recorded, organized, and reminders are set. That creates an effect of closing tabs of your brain browsers that are constantly open and consuming your brain's RAM. Imagine these dots are our neurons. When we do something clear and familiar, we simply repeat a neuron pattern. For example, to cook a favorite dish, we follow a route like this. This is called the focused state of brain. We are concentrated and focused on a familiar task. But what to do if you need to find a new solution, new idea for a complex problem? The impulse runs chaotically between neurons until a new pattern is formed that fully or partially solves the problem. It's called a diffusive state of mind. The trick is that when we work, our brain switches from the focus to diffusive state in a fraction of a second to combine known things with the creative process. Salvador Dali would sit in his chair and hold keys. When he fell asleep, keys would drop, and his brain would switch between focus and diffusive mode to boost his creativity. Another cool method is trying to think in full, complete sentences. So normally our brain has like fragments of sentences or even like images, so it's really hard. The goal is to sit, try to be relaxed, and to think for 15 minutes of full, coherent sentences. Trust me, that's really hard. And to reward you for watching this video to the end, here is a link to my ultimate guide, which is based on the knowledge what I got from the Huberman podcasts, many of them, and also the Barbara Oakley book, Think Like Mathematician. It will help to boost your productivity, to beat up your procrastination, and please use it with pleasure. Live long and prosper.